Now, let's start with, I built 100 wells in Africa. This is the first of 100 wells we're going to build in this video. Oh, water. You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video. So, the video is all about showing MrBeast's generosity and efforts to provide clean drinking water to some communities in Africa. Hence, he partnered with a few organizations to build 100 wells in different regions throughout Africa, primarily focusing on areas that face severe water scarcity. You know, students complaining of diarrhea, infections like typhoid, because this is the water we've been using. So we try to treat, but you see, look at it, but at the end of the day, life has to move on. You have to get some water anyway. They started with Kenya, then Nigeria, Toraplongon, then Zimbabwe, and we built more wells in Uganda, Somalia, and Cameroon. The video seemed pretty normal to me until I came across this Reddit post. MrBeast lies in his videos with evidence. I found some pretty strong evidence that MrBeast lied in his recent video. If you take a look at these two pictures for one, they are exactly the same but from different angles. He's talking about these two pictures, well number 67 and well number 29. But guess what I found? If you watch the video and zoom in right here, this is world 28 and world 29. There is no picture for well number 29, and again, well 28 and well 67 are the same, but the angle is just different. It is somewhat suspicious, however. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what's next. The second problem is you see him claiming he will build wells in Kenya. We built 20 more wells in Kenya, then proceeding to show a picture that clearly shows Zimbabwe. Again, not something you should be seeing after spending thousands of dollars to build a well. Alright, here we go, under control. We built 20 more wells in Kenya. This is the picture mentioned in the post, where MrBeast mentioned Kenya, but showed a picture from Zimbabwe. And finally, before he says well 69, he actually skips a picture of 68. There was no picture for well 68. And after giving away the bikes, we continue building wells until we reach well number 69. And yes, that's right, there are no pictures for well number 68. So why are these pictures skipped? Editing mistakes or purposely removed because those missing wells were never installed. And this is a huge red flag, especially when you're spending millions of dollars and using donation money from other people. Besides, why are these pictures flashing by so quickly on the screen that you can barely see them? If you've done the work, why not show the result properly? This post provides a clear explanation for that. It becomes a more logical choice to lie about the number of wells to make it seem like he did more than he actually did. Using fake numbers rather than fillers creates the illusion that there is a lot more new stuff to be seen than there actually is, thus increasing engagement. Building 100 wells in the time span of at most 2 weeks is questionable in itself. Additionally, MrBeast has faced criticism for framing these effort as if he and his team were solely responsible for tackling these complex issues. While there are local community leaders and organizations who have been working on these issues for years, he didn't even mention them in this video. So in addition to that, CNN talked to the founder and CEO of the water infrastructure organization Face Africa, who said, "I've been doing this for 15 years, but we're with a huge..." And all of a sudden he gets all of the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world gave off the impression as if he was the first, and perhaps the only person making a difference in these African communities. I know it's weird that a YouTuber has to do all this stuff, but someone's got to do it, and if no one else is, we're gonna do it. Furthermore, the work doesn't just stop at just installing a well. You need to maintain, repair, and make sure it's working after 3 or 5 years. Also, he didn't mention the specific names of the villages where the wells were installed, except for addressing them as just villages. Yeah, you can see yourself. We were also able to install a well for this village, and these 12 other villages. And while we were kinda suspicious too, considering that is a huge scale of charitable work, and especially after finding all these loopholes in the video up to this point, This absolutely raises some serious doubts. 1,000 blind people see for the first time. In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness. It's gonna be crazy. Most of us see the world like this. But here's the thing. 200 million people see the world like this. But I just made it one less. Oh. Wow. She's just one of 1,000 blind people we help from around the world. So here in this video, he isn't curing any blindness. Instead, he's helping them by paying for the surgery which these people might have received anyway. As per this article by CNN Entertainment, they started by calling homeless shelters and free clinics to create a list of patients in the Jacksonville area who needed cataract surgery but could not afford it. Eventually, they had a group of 40 patients and all of their surgeries in a single day, which of course is great charitable work and people benefited. However, why this video was criticized heavily is because of the way it was used for clout. Starting from the thumbnail to the intro, which filmed each patient's emotional reaction on camera, as if they were just props to the video, is what robbed people the wrong way. Let's talk about MrBeast. This video posted this weekend, and in the video he took 1,000 people who suffered from blindness caused by cataracts, and he paid for the surgery to repair their eyesight. So I will tell you that last night we saw this thumbnail pop up and literally my 15-year-old was like, "That's creepy." His immediate response was that feels gross and exploitative. This approach left a feeling that the project prioritized dramatic storytelling over genuine help and doing good for people. The video was criticized so much that MrBeast had to finally tweet this. Twitter rich people should help others with their money. I'll use my money to help people. And I promise to give away all my money before I die, every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad. Well, this reply fits best here. Devil's advocate, but while it was an amazing piece of altruism on your behalf, why make a video about it? Why not just do good with no reward other than self-satisfaction, knowing you're making the world a better place? But really, I do find this language fascinating. He's blessing people, or the implication that he cured blindness. MrBeast paid for surgeries, but he did not cure blindness. 2. Helping is good, but this video is still exploitative and charity corn. We are all happy that 1,000 people now have improved sight. That fact alone is undeniably a wonderful thing. And while these systemic failures are not MrBeast's fault, obviously, making content out of people's needs and desperation, that is textbook exploitation. I know, the word exploitation may seem a bit strong, but he is using these people to get views. Without featuring the people, hearing their stories, there really wouldn't be a video. Trail is manipulative, and for personal gain, Team C's, we have a massive announcement. As of today, Team C's has officially cleaned all 34,080,191 pounds of trash and plastic out of the oceans and rivers all across the world. 4 million pounds over our original goal, and 100% verified by an independent third party. Team C's is an international collaborative fundraiser that was started by MrBeast and Mark Robert Dodd. The fundraiser accumulated over $33 million in funding and pledged to remove 30 million pounds of marine debris from the ocean. However, as per scientists, these kinds of projects are nothing but huge scams because ultimately they don't fulfill the purpose at all. Aims to remove 30 million pounds of plastic from the oceans. In sensible units, that's about 13,600 tons, which sounds like a lot, but not when compared to the 150 million tons of plastic in the ocean. 13,600 tons is at most about 0.01% of all the plastic in the ocean. In fact, if we assume that 8 million tons is added to the oceans every year, again, an underestimate, then over the 3-year lifespan of Team C's removing 13,600 tons, 24 million tons of plastic waste will be added to the oceans. Or to think of it another way, Team C's will remove from the oceans in 3 years that which is added in under 15 hours. I'm very cynical, probably too cynical about projects like this because you see a lot of them and actually they sound impressive and they look impressive. But when you delve a little bit deeper into the numbers and the stats behind it all, actually their long-term impact becomes quite questionable. I've also covered this in more detail in another video, and the link to that is in the description if you want to watch. Now, back to the topic. Apart from the fact that Team C's cleanup of £30 million of trash in 3 years is nothing, at least compared to the tons of plastic entering into the sea every hour, Team C's has also teamed up with one of the most controversial organizations in the world, known as the Ocean Cleanup. The money he raised was being split between two different not-for-profits. The Ocean Conservancy, a very well-respected not-for-profit that focuses on conservation, and the Ocean Cleanup, a different charity that uses. The interceptors are a series of semi-autonomous vehicles that float on the surface of rivers, funneling and collecting plastic waste for subsequent disposal. The Ocean Cleanup originally used similar technology to collect plastic waste in the open ocean. Now, the big criticism that myself and experts in plastic pollution shared about Team C's was its emphasis on cleanup and not preventing more plastic being added to the oceans, which is what the interceptors seem to do. By the way, Coca-Cola is also a sponsor of the Ocean Cleanup, and they're one of the top 5 companies who contribute to 50% of the world's plastic pollution. So in simple words, these projects are not focused on the root cause, which is plastic pollution, and instead they're just publicity stunts. And so is Team Trees. But, I have mixed feelings about the project. Not, however, for the following reasons. Number 1, the ecological effects of planting these trees. I'm sure that they will bring restoration to damaged biomes. Number 2, the stewardship of these trees. I have no doubt that they will be managed and planted in a sensible way. And number 3, the carbon sink of these trees. Removing 1 million tons of carbon from the atmosphere is definitely a good thing, as we've seen adding a lot of carbon to the atmosphere on short timescales results in pretty significant anthropogenic global warming. No, I believe that teen trees have the potential to do real damage because of a concept called self-licensing. While they might have planted those 20 million trees, what about maintaining them? Did all the trees survive or did they die? Where's the follow-up? Because if the project only stops at just planting the trees, then it's not targeting the actual cause. Hence, these campaigns were less about creating sustainable environmental change and more about enhancing MrBeast's image as a socially conscious influencer. And besides the money for all these charitable works, they're done in collaboration with third-party charity organizations and donations from people, so technically it's not all MrBeast's money. And let's admit it, his generosity has been criticized right from the beginning of his first charitable video. Well, we can start off by driving you. Where do you want to go? I mean, my car's right there. I got my tent back in the woods. Yeah, you're fine. Do you mind if we just see it? I mean, just to give them a little bit more idea of how you live and stuff. No, we don't have to. No, we don't. I don't want to overstep. I'm a YouTuber. I'm going around giving random people who need $1,000. Most people get mad and say this is a bad way to get views. Tell them like you're okay with this. Are you okay with it? Hell yeah. In return for the money, he received content for his video. So it's not exactly a 100% charity. Instead, more like a give and take scenario where both the parties are benefiting.